Opening night of the NBA season, we took the show on the road here to New York. And we watched the Miami Heat on ring night defeat the Chicago Bulls 107-95. Flatiron District, where we are, the historic Flatiron building right behind us, and it's Inside the NBA presented by Kia.
Just noticed. Only been here for 6 hours.
I just
noticed that's the building.
Me too.
The Flatiron District.
There it is.
Oh my gosh.
But
way to notice your surroundings.
we are happy to
That's why
welcome.
you couldn't win, man. You couldn't see it.
Happy to welcome Kia as the new sponsor of
yes.
Inside the NBA, and
yes.
thanks for their support. And when you think about this part of the city, and it was a year ago, Hurricane Sandy hit, and there were certainly major issues down here in this part of Manhattan.
Yeah.
And it looks like well done, y'all. And it's been a year. And the city looking great, and it's the hospitality tonight was outstanding.
You know, the people have been fantastic. You know, watching the news the last couple of days, looking at New York City and the Jersey Shore, the Governor Christie, Governor Cuomo, they've done a fantastic job, man.
And you know, it's been just, you know, Shaq being from New Jersey, myself being from New York, you know the resiliency of the New York area people. And I think that just shows it from 9/11 all the way up into the Hurricane Sandy, and then all of a sudden now you see things look like they're back to normal.
And being a law enforcement guy, I want to give a shout out to the NYPD. They're doing a great job protecting us and, you know, keeping things safe down here. And they've been doing a great job all year.
Thanks all around to everybody who made this night possible. We've had a great time, and here's the way the night began with the Miami Heat at home against the Chicago Bulls, attempting a three-peat, and of course, you get the hardware for your second straight NBA championship. The rings are handed out, the banners go up, the trophies there.
That's a tough night to play on, Ernie. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, they really struggled tonight.
Oh,
Well, they did early. The Chicago Bulls with Derrick Rose back in there. In fact, they jumped out at them 9-2.
I mean, because honestly, Shaq, right? You're never going to go to a game where the pregame stuff is more exciting than the game itself.
That's true.
As a player.
It takes a lot out of you.
It takes a lot out of you.
You know, they started off flat, but they got it back.
There's Norris Cole, who bottoms out the jumper.
Baby.
And
Yeah,
this is
ankle twist.
Oh, baby. And then I got to end it with a bang.
the Heat put a 17-0 run on the Bulls to pull away in the first half. This is in the middle of that. And then you see the catch by D. Wade inside and lays it in for a couple and makes the lead 11.
Even though they've added some new players, Ernie, their core is still pretty much the same, and they move the ball well,
As long as
get
they
easy
got that guy
baskets.
who made that pass,
That's right.
They're going to be tough, but
All you need is one, baby.
You know, two things about the
Leaders
Chicago
lead,
Bulls.
followers follow.
You know what? I think they actually got a little bit better, but they didn't get bigger. You know, overall,
you know, the key.
not getting bigger. You know, Derrick Rose obviously is going to help them, but to beat the Miami Heat, you have to be big and you have to be physical. And I also think they're going to miss Nate Robinson.
Give me that.
I think Nate Robinson was a guy who at times could be just as explosive as Derrick Rose.
The Heat with 7 players in double figures, everybody between 11 and 17. LeBron had 17. There's the Birdman,
No,
who had
Ernie.
6.
Birdman.
My bad.
Birdman.
Say it right, Ernie.
So at halftime, it was 54-33, and now he moved to the third.
he
And
was on
Carlos
fire.
Boozer, yeah.
Yeah,
Carlos
he
had-
took it personally because Chris Bosh, he really usually has his number. The
Yeah.
length and the size bothered him. But he said, not tonight. These guys, I'm going to show you that I've been working on my game to play against bigger guys.
But
He
if
had a
you're-
31-point night.
If you're a big guy, you'll set a limo for those Miami big men. Trust me. You want to make sure they don't get in no traffic accidents.
Oh,
You wanna
great
make sure they
pass.
get to the game.
That was a beauty. LeBron to Birdman, and
Ernie.
going. Believe me, it was a struggle. It was
Sounds so
78-58
educated.
after 3, and then here they cut after a 25-point deficit. The Bulls cut the lead to 8.
That's because they stopped shooting so many jumpers and stopped turning the ball over.
And then he turned it off. Now
And
they
they
turned
got
it back
bored.
on.
They got bored.
Yeah, they
You're
turned-
right, Kenny.
They turned it off.
Shane Battier with the three-pointer there, and in fact, Battier 5 out of 6 on the night, 4 for 4 from the promised land, and Miami wins it 107 to 95. A vastly different result than when Chicago and Miami played in the 2006-2007 ring night opener in Miami when they lost by 42. But we're not going to bring that up, Shaq. David Aldridge after the
It's
game.
hard to concentrate, Shaq.
especially after 4.
LeBron, you're up by 25 in the third quarter. They got it down to under 10 points. What exactly do you think happened in the fourth?
We let up too much. We allowed them to get what they wanted offensively. We didn't defend like we're capable of, like we did the first three quarters. And, we'll clean that up, though. It's the first game, and guys still getting their legs up under them. But we played a well enough game to win, and that's what matters.
Eric Spoelstra said he challenged everybody on this team to come back better, including you. What was it that he wants you to do better, and what do you think you need to do better?
I just got to continue to be a leader, man. The best leader I could be on the floor every night. Put myself and my teammates in position to succeed, and that's all I can do. And do it to the best of my ability, and I can be satisfied with the results.
Derrick Rose back for the first time in a year and a half tonight. I know you're trying to beat him, but what did you think of him being back, and how did he look to you?
Really fast, really explosive. It's good to have him back, like I said, before the game. It's good for the game of basketball, and, he looked great.
You want to win a third championship, obviously, because that's there, but how do you get to April with enough left in the tank as a team to be ready to defend when the playoffs start?
The motivation. Our motivation is to win a championship, and we understand as a veteran ball club we can't skip anything. We got to go along with the process. We got to play it through October, through November, through December, so on, at our abilities. And if we do that, when April comes, we'll give ourselves a good shot.
LeBron, thanks very much. Congratulations.
All right, thanks, Dave.
All right.
All right, so
I'm not
David
mad at the
Aldridge with
photo
LeBron
bomb.
James and
I'll tell you
a
what.
video bomb from Chris Bosh.
Tell you what, that headband so big. I think Muggs and Bowles could take a shower with it. I'm telling you, him and Spud Webb could use that as a shower curtain. I'm telling you, man. That's the biggest headband in the world, man.
Use the headband as a shower curtain.
I'm telling you, they can drive with it. I'm serious.
And there's Chris Bosh with his moment.
See, what's bigger, the towel on Chris Bosh's shoulder or LeBron's headband?
Oh, my goodness. Hey, you know what?
He's starting early, huh, kid?
Miami,
Hey, man, I don't understand why he don't just shave his head, man. Come on home
it's
like
pretty
the rest
close.
of us.
Pretty close.
Come on, man. It's time to come on
He
home,
did it this
man.
summer, actually.
I don't
Yeah.
understand. I thought
he did. He did actually shave it this summer.
It ain't
I
me,
mean,
LeBron, it's him.
Yes, I don't.
Hold on to your last minute. I'll tell you, hold on, man. Hold on.
Since the All-Star break last year, Miami's record 47-9 as they win here on opening night. Early impressions, first impressions on an opening night. What did you think tonight,
I
Chuck?
don't think anything, Ernie. This team, we know they got a good team. They need Greg Oden.
Who was inactive
He
tonight?
was inactive. I mean, you see when they play against bigger teams, Chicago's not a threat because they're not a dominant low post scoring team. But with the Indiana and Brooklyn, those teams are clear and present danger. They got everything you need down low. They're big. They're strong. You're not going to beat Miami on the perimeter shooting jump shots. But Roy Hibbert and David West own those guys down low. They got Brook Lopez and Kevin Garnett down low. You can't overreact to this one game. But they need Greg Oden to win the championship.
I agree to what you're saying. However, if LeBron is playing the way he's been playing and the perimeter guys are hitting that shot, don't matter what the other team is doing, because, he's going to rely on those guys to hit shot. And, tonight they moved the ball very well. They played very well. But I agree with you about beating them up on the inside. But if Ray Allen is hitting, if Norris Cole is hitting, if Chris Bosh is behind the line hitting three, and LeBron is playing MVP-style basketball, it doesn't matter.
Well,
Game over.
You got the
one
last
thing-
word on this game.
The one thing about the Miami Heat is that the teams that have big players a lot of times get nervous when they go on that 10-0 run and say, hey, we got to go small, and they try to match. The thing about, like Charles said, Brooklyn, they don't have that other option. They're going to stay big. So they might weather the storm that some teams get nervous about. We even saw in the Indiana series, they took Hibbert out for a while. They say, maybe he can't play in this series. No, he's going to have moments where he doesn't, but you have to stick with him. And that will be the difference if a team is able to dethrone the champs.
We've had a fun night here in New York. We're still coming back later with Nito Stat of the Night. But some of the things that happened already tonight when we actually began the day here and folks have been here at the Samsung booth, and we had the Samsung Galaxy Gear and the NBA 2K14 booth. So it's really been a fun way to start the season, opening day of the NBA campaign here in Manhattan. And we will be back with the Nito stat of the night in just a moment. But after this break, we're going to take you back to Atlanta. Matt Winer and the gang in the studio.
Not to correct the disembodied voice, but partly live from New York and partly here from Atlanta. But Inside the NBA is right. Kia is right. We will shout out for the folks at Kia, new sponsors of the program. We appreciate that. Matt Winer, Chris Webber, Steve Smith, TNT rookie Grant Hill. How weird is it for you guys to see Grant Hill in a suit here, ready to do TV?
Can you go to the store and get me, what you need from the store? It's our rookie. You want some? We wait till after the show. We wait till after the show.
Coffee?
Yeah, make them get our coffee. Coffee and donuts tomorrow. We need them here at 6 a.m.
Young fella.
We're not going to be here at 6 a.m., but we need them here at 6
Young fella. Chris younger than me, I think, right? Y'all, you both
young, yeah.
young fella.
There we go, G Hill. They lied on us, G Hill.
Yeah, we won that, man. Coach
Come
K
on.
lied.
We beat you, Mike. Matter of fact, we might be the only people that beat the Dream Team. Can we get a medal?
Wow.
That's
an all-star game.
What year was that?
Pat Garrity looking for help. Got to double down.
Yeah, quick. Way to call Pat Garrity out.
You didn't name names, did you?
Pat Garrity.
Yeah, about to give him Smitty.
Smitty.
Now he is here, all cleaned up with the suit on, ready to do some TV.
This is exciting. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be a rookie.
It's fun to have you here as well.
Yeah.
Hey, game 2 tonight on TNT, the battle for LA in a series that is flip-flopped in terms of expectations and results. Remember, the Clippers swept the Lakers last year, and on paper, they got better in the offseason with the likes of, well, Doc Rivers, for one, making his coaching debut for the LA Clippers in the regular season. Still no Kobe Bryant, and by the end of the night, it seemed like a little less urgency to bring him back. J.J. Redick got off to a great start with the Clips.
J.J. Redick. He did, coming off picks, knocking down shots, and you can see Steve Nash probing, kicking it out to Paul Gasol, shooting threes.
Gasol looked good, 15 points, 13 rebounds. Here come the Clips, and they were flying early on. Jared Dudley to DeAndre Jordan.
And you know that's the best way Jordan to score. One of the most athletic big guys in there can finish with the best of them.
Really didn't know what to expect from the Lakers. Certainly didn't expect what they got out of Xavier Henry. Off to a career night. More from the Clips.
Can't call him Lob City anymore, says Coach Doc Rivers, but
why can't
you got guys because he doesn't want that. He wants them to play defense and win championships.
You're gonna let him tell you what to do?
They didn't play defense.
You're not gonna let him.
I'm just telling you what the man said.
You're gonna let Doc tell you what to do?
Yeah, he can tell me.
Third quarter, Jordan deflects Gasol's pass. Griffin can't handle the loose ball.
You want to be Lob City?
Chris Kamen's got it. Chris Kaman lost it.
He wants you to be Lob City.
Chris Paul to Jamal Crawford.
No, he didn't.
3 City. Oh, he threw it over the line.
Cross-court pass, 3 City. And the Clippers up by 4, but here comes the Laker bench. Jody Meeks, he had 13. Wesley Johnson was 1 of 11 from the field, but he'll knock down a 3 here. And the Lakers are up by 8.
A lot of times people act like when your superstar isn't here that the team loses confidence. A lot of times, this is a lot of chance for these guys to show what they're made of.
Jordan Farmar, second time around with the Lakers.
I'm back.
He was 6 of 10.
Look at Doc say,
Can't jump higher than that ball.
Henry one more time. A career-high 22 points as he twists and finishes Jordan Hill. Remember, he was off to a great start before the hip surgery last year. He gets it going. A 28-8 Laker run. Wow. Who saw that coming? Final 48 Laker points scored by their bench. They only got as many as 48 from their bench twice all last season. Some of the numbers from this game just are sort of mind-boggling when you look back on what happened in that 116-103 Laker victory. 76 bench points is the most since 88. And they're now 5-0 without Kobe Bryant in season openers since he arrived in the league. Well, let's be honest. A lot of folks tuned into this opening night game to decide for themselves if this new-look Clipper team was perhaps the best in the Western Conference. Turned out they weren't the best in the building.
No,
What happened?
No, they weren't. And, you know, really honestly, I don't even want to talk about the Clippers tonight because you're right. I thought the Clippers, this was going to be their type of game. And I think Coach D'Antoni has come into a situation that's been a little unfair for him. Hasn't had his whole team together. Doesn't have Kobe in this new season. And guys don't care. Guys play hard because they know they want to hold the fort till Kobe comes back. I look at this as a wonderful chance for everybody on there to get a rhythm before employee number 8 or Kobe, who changed his number, comes back and takes over. They have to hold the fort down and gets back. And it's great seeing guys have fun and doing that till their leader gets back.
Well, you never think of the Lakers as underdogs, but in this matchup this year on this night, that's what they were, and they just played harder, it looked like.
They did. I mean, it's safe to say it's the upset of the year.
So far, yeah.
So far.
Way to call it, baby.
Yeah, but they came out. They had a sense of urgency. Last year, they got swept by the Clippers. This is L.A. This is the Lakers' town. It's personal. It's like Pershing versus Cass Tech. Is that right?
Okay, there we go.
Is that a
Yeah,
rivalry?
Cash used to win every game like that, though.
Okay. So they came out with a sense that they played hard and they stuck it right to the Clippers. The Clippers look bad tonight.
It's funny considering how many of those guys weren't on the floor for the Lakers last year.
You're right, man. I think, you know, the Clippers imposed their will. They got the Lakers playing small. I mean, the Clippers playing small ball. Paul Gasol at the 5, which I think is a great position for him in Mike D'Antoni's system. But for me, I was surprised. 52 rebounds for the Los Angeles Lakers. That's unbelievable. Beating them up on the glass. The Clippers can't have that. Not with DeAndre Jordan jumping out of the gym and Blake Griffin.
How you feeling differently about the Lakers now?
No, I think you had the best player in the world, Kobe, as I said last year. Didn't think they were going to make the playoffs. Kobe comes back and acts crazy. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs again this year, but who knows? If he has 10, 15 games and they're 10, 15 games out,
They played loose. The Lakers played loose.
So if we learned some things from opening night in the NBA, the Heat are still good. I think we can agree on that.
Very much.
Derrick Rose appears to be healthy.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
The Lakers maybe not as bad as some folks projected.
Roy Hibbert's
More spirited for sure.
Hibbert still got it.
Hibbert.
Yeah.
Hibbert's still
And evidently Plaid is now in. We learned that as well throughout the night. Both Shaq and Craig Sager went with
Is that picnic table?
They both went with bold. I'll
that
just call
velvet?
it bold plaid patterns.
that fuchsia? Shaq's wasn't bad.
Like that Pershing, huh?
Yeah.
He said,
knew that,
he
huh?
said Shaq wasn't.
top of the
Pershing
head.
Cass Tech. You got
Oh, you ready, G? Hill?
More inside the NBA from Atlanta on the way. The other game, a blockbuster night for the Indiana
Big
Pacers.
Roy Hibbert.
Nearly set a franchise record for blocks against Orlando. Get the NBA wherever you go with the NBA Game Time app, now with more features than ever before. Download the free official NBA Game Time app on your phone or tablet via the App Store now. Actually, first, check out the Magic and Pacers opening night highlights. Victor Oladipo, the number 2 overall pick, back in Indiana where he was a Hoosiers star. Much expected out of Paul George and the Pacers. Many believe they could win the East.
Did he walk well?
No. I take up for big fellas, yes.
Pacers up 10-0 early on. That's a skunk in my driveway, but they kept playing.
Young fella.
Victor Oladipo for 3. And then Oladipo takes the board, starts the break.
Coast to coast.
Okay, here we go,
Oh,
Paul
give me
George.
that.
He
Welcome to the NBA, young fella.
hadn't encountered Paul George yet.
Not yet.
Aaron Aflalo to Andrew Nicholson, who knocks down the 3 here. Nicholson was out of his mind in the first half.
What kind of game you got, Steve?
Old man, YMCA.
Church league.
Nicholson was 8 of 9 for 18 points in the first half, and then he didn't score again.
Way to throw him on the
Yeah, he was tired.
Just reporting the facts. Third quarter. David West setting up Lance Stevenson.
Coney Island.
Lance.
Pacers up by 3 and doing their thing on the defensive end.
That's a block shot.
That was one of them. Hibbert had 7 blocks as Paul George knocks down the 3, put Indy up by 6.
Indy's so big. Nothing but in the paint. But watch Oladipo.
Young legs.
You win the dunk contest, you think?
Ooh.
Ooh, I'm putting it out there already. What you think?
Way to start. First day predictions. Nice.
Paul George 3 at the buzzer. India up by 5. We go to the fourth quarter. It's Jan Mahinmi blocking the rookie. The Pacers blocked 18 shots in this game.
18?
18.
Wow.
Hibbert with another one. And this will get the Pacers running again. It's C.J. Watson finishing it off as Indiana finishes off Orlando on opening night. Oladipo, by the way, 4 of 11, 12 points
Not bad.
in his NBA debut, but the Magic shot under 39%. That's what Indiana does. They were best in the league in that category. Hibbert becomes just the second player to grab at least 16 rebounds and block 7 shots in his team's season opener. And Hibbert was tweeting about it afterward. He does still have it. Loved what Paul George did.
By George, I think I've got it. Way to pump yourself up, baby. I guess he still got long arms. Okay.
He's still 7'2".
Yeah, he's still 7'2", blocking shots. You have to love, though, the way the team puts emphasis on defense, especially this team that's grown so well. But he's right. Inside, these guys, they push you inside to the big fellas and let the guys do all the dirty work.
India one win away from the NBA Finals last season. How close are they right now?
Well, they're about, let's see, 82, 81 games. No, they're a good team. They throwback. I like the way they play. They pounded inside. Hibbert, West, Paul George emerging into a superstar. You know, for them, it's going to be NBA Finals or bust.
You know, for me, Webb, I want to ask you as a big fella, they have so many bigs. How does Scola fit into the fold with all these bigs? How does he get playing time?
First of all, Scola is one of my favorite players in this league, a hard-working, hard hat type of guy. I think it helps because he keeps pace with the culture. So in other words, somebody gets hurt, somebody not playing well, somebody oversleeps. Don't worry, Scola has been ready there. So you have a guy that's already ready to go in, could start, and if he doesn't start, is going to be a happy teammate, content with getting you winning. I think he's the perfect teammate to have on a hard hat team like this.
I'll let you do your job now.
And I was going to say, on a great defensive team, he's one of the few guys they brought in who really is more of an offensive-minded player coming off that bench.
Yeah, and he can rebound offensively. And just think about this. You bring out West, you bring in him, and he can shoot and spread the floor just as well. He keeps the same pace going.
All right, other stuff happening around the league. Filed this way, Yahoo Sports reports Oklahoma City's Russell Westbrook is ahead of schedule in his recovery from April knee surgery and could be ready to play within 2 weeks.
Take your time, young fella. Take your time.
Take your time.
Also, new Mavericks general manager Gerson Rosas is now the Mavericks' former general manager. He stepped down after just about 3 months on the job.
Take your time.
A look at Madison Square Garden, the Knicks' familiar home, where they'll open up their season Wednesday against the Milwaukee Bucks. It was already the NBA's most iconic venue. Now the oldest building in the league is also the newest. After 3 years of work, the makeover in Manhattan's basketball mecca is finally complete. Madison Square Garden has all the bells and whistles $1 billion can buy, while retaining a history that is priceless.
When Pope John Paul came to New York, it was a magical thing. The Pope was to come up in a limousine and come through the door where the Zamboni actually comes through. They missed the turn. I just happened to be there. The door opened. This man stepped out, and I got to kiss the Pope's ring. My mother thought I was a saint, but she should only know.
As Madison Square Garden's head carpenter for nearly 50 years, Malcolm Shaw has a lifetime of incredible stories, including how he was hired.
Being a union carpenter, I got sent as an extra to Madison Square Garden. They told me they had 5 days of work. Turned out it was a long week. I've witnessed probably almost everything that has happened here in the last 50 years. I was here for the first Rolling Stones concert, Michael Jackson when he was with the Jackson 5. I was here the night the Rangers won the Stanley Cup. And I was the first man to touch it, even before the captain Mark Messier got to touch it, which probably might get fired today for doing it. The Ali Frazier fight, where I happened to be stationed at ringside. There was so much hype that every celebrity out there wanted to be here. Frank Sinatra was at ringside. Ted Kennedy was here with his wife. There was electricity in the air.
For the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world.
The fight of the century helped cement the Garden's place in boxing history and hosting iconic events from Elvis to Elton, political conventions, WrestleMania, benefit concerts for 9/11, Hurricanes Katrina and Sandy, the Garden deservingly earns its reputation as the world's most famous arena. Yet even with distinguished guests passing through the Garden, New York Knicks basketball has always remained its signature event.
I also was here for the first and second World Championships. I was there when Willis came out onto the court, when we all thought he wasn't going to play. When he came out on the floor that night, the place just erupted. Game started, scored 2 baskets, the rest is history. But I was fortunate enough to get a small piece of the court, have almost all the players sign that. I've been fortunate that I got a lot of mementos from the Garden. We probably possessed 2 of the only tickets from opening night at Madison Square Garden in 1968. One of my bosses came out and handed me 2 tickets, and naturally working, I couldn't use them, so I put them in a drawer. I had them for years, and we decided that we would donate them back to the Garden.
The tickets are now part of a new exhibit, along with 20 other defining moments of the Garden, which the arena recently installed as part of its incredible 3-year, $1 billion renovation.
This transformation of the Garden is truly a wonderful thing. This is now a very, very modern, up-to-date arena.
With a redesigned entrance, box office, 2 new bridges, a state-of-the-art center display, enhanced luxury suites, and first-class dining, the Garden's future looks as bright as the celebrated past Malcolm has been a part of for nearly half a century.
Madison Square Garden is definitely the world's most famous arena, and we are now again at the top. I could never imagine working any place but the Garden. I'm still going to be here for as long as they'll have me.
Popes and pop stars have played there. Anybody who is anybody in the world of entertainment and certainly basketball. What's your favorite MSG moment?
You know, first of all, it's just a mecca. You love playing in New York. The very knowledgeable fans. All the stars are sitting around in the front row. But I think back, it was a game. Mookie Blaylock didn't play. So that means I got about 10, 12 extra shots. Start hitting shots. And, it came down to the end. I hit a dagger. And I obviously got a chance to talk a little bit to Spike Lee. But
You ain't just talk to him, Steve.
No, I ain't just talking to him. That's Chris
told me you was
Mills
going to knock him out and everything. Be honest now. Look, there it is.
There it is.
Look what he did to Spike. Look what he did to Spike. Put this in your movie, Spike.
So as it turns out, Smitty's favorite moment in the Garden involved himself. How about you?
What can I say?
Well, you know what? Like Smitty said, I love playing in the Garden, but I'm going to take a different road. My favorite moment as a fan, growing up in the D.C. area, Georgetown beat St. John's 1985. Warriors with Pat Ewing avenged the loss early in the year. They
Look
beat,
at this.
I guess they don't have the footage, but they beat Chris Mullin in the St. John's Redmen. And that was for first place in the Big East, first place in the country.
Your favorite team, Georgetown or St. John's?
Growing up, Georgetown was my favorite.
That's when Big Monday was there.
Big Monday, fun time.
Definitely.
All those Big East tournaments as well. So many great moments from those. How about you?
You know what? Just playing in Madison Square Garden was an honor. Going through the hallway, you see pictures of like all the people that perform. But one of my favorite moments is a moment I don't even know if I was live. I know I wasn't there, and that's when you see all the great highlights of the boxing matches. You remember how you see the highlights of the Clive and the Ali fight, and you see Clyde Frazier in the back? You know, video not available also. I guess we're getting cheap here at TNT. But remember the hat when you see Clyde Frazier like with a mink coat and a big hat in front of the fight? I just always remember seeing that like, wow, that's what you look like when
Those
you
were games last season, by the way. He wore that outfit.
Still just like that. Still fresh, Clyde, but yeah, definitely. That was one of my favorite memories, seeing those highlights back then.
Another great NBA moment, and also involved Patrick Ewing.
Don't jump, Pat!
But not in a good way.
Every time I try to tell Pat don't jump, he don't listen. Don't jump, Pat!
Jump.
You know what I love about Pat? He had them long wristbands. It was about 9 inches. He's sweating. He's a big sweat.
Alonzo did the same thing. They always
Georgetown.
Georgetown.
Again, it's a
Dikembe's
Georgetown
little
thing.
wristbands were like this.
And we'll send you back to New York for more from EJ and the gang in just a bit. First, we wanted to take a moment to recognize the loss of one of basketball's greatest contributors. Bill Sharman, one of 3 men selected to the Hall of Fame as both a player and coach, passed away Friday at his California home. Sharman won championships as a player, coach, and executive, first as an 8-time All-Star with the Celtics, later as the head coach of the Lakers, including the team that won an NBA record 33 straight games. Great Celtic, great Laker, Bill Sharman was 87.
Inside the NBA, live from New York on opening night. Brought to you by the redesigned Kia Optima, official vehicle of the NBA.
As we welcome you back to New York, heads up on Thursday night, Halloween night, a special Halloween edition of Shaq and a Fool.
How can it be Halloween? There's no plays yet.
Huh?
There'll be
No.
That's a lot of
He's got
plays
some
already.
He's got some preseason stuff. Shaq always has his eyes open for stuff that has made JaVale McGee famous. So here we are.
Ernie.
Yes.
April 19th, Shaq versus Chuck one-on-one. He challenged me.
Doing what?
No.
Playing basketball.
Thank you, Ernie.
No, thank
Playing
you.
basketball.
Thank you.
No,
I'm
thank
not
you.
playing
I'll-
against you.
I'll
Yeah.
do it February
I don't want to
1st.
see you
You
blow out a
scared?
knee
No,
or
thank
Achilles
you.
again.
I'll pass.
Thank you.
Meantime, here on opening night, it's that time, and I just have a sneaking suspicion that we may have a sponsor this time around.
Oh, my God.
It's time for
EJ's Meatloaf Saturday Night.
Brought to you by Kia.
Wow.
Of course, on a nice night when Kia debuts as our sponsor of Inside, they would
They'll be on
sponsor
you for
the
1
Nito
week.
They threw
Saturday
you a
night.
bone?
Huh? Yeah, they did.
They'll highlight you.
They
Thank you.
did. They threw me a bone.
Thank you.
So,
I still don't. They owe me
for,
something.
for years and years and years, Charles has maintained that he will do two things. He will lose weight, and he will learn Spanish. You have lost weight. You look
Yes,
outstanding.
thank you, Ernie. Thank you.
I think your Spanish is still leaving
No
something
bueno.
to be desired.
Ernie, no bueno.
I got the Rosetta Stone. Thank you, Rosetta
Oh.
Stone.
No.
The Rosetta Stone Totale.
Well, you know what?
I think it's called
No,
Totale.
you really can't even pronounce what the Rosetta Stone is. Oh, here's the deal.
How do you say Spanish
Remember,
in Spanish?
Espanol.
Oh,
Very
very
good.
nice.
You're getting better. During our coverage of baseball's postseason, of course, Pedro Martinez was in the studio. Pedro.
He was great, too,
He was
Ernie.
a very charming guy to everybody at the studio. They
No,
all
he was
loved
great
him.
on
Yeah,
television.
he was. And he had a message, Charles, for you.
Hey Chuck, this is Pedro. Don't be cheap and get the Rosetta Stone. Si no, págame $1,000,000 y yo te enseño a hablar español en 2 semanas.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
know what he said.
You know what he said?
I know what he said.
No, hold on. Don't you say anything.
He said something about teaching me Spanish. I haven't got to the second
Well,
disc on Rosetta
I'll tell you
Stone
what.
yet.
Let's-
In 2 weeks, he
Second
can teach you
disc.
Spanish for $2 million.
Let's
$2
see.
million?
Because
Nice.
because we are going to see it again. with
$2
the
million?
subtitles. Let's see.
No, págame $1,000,000 y yo te enseño a hablar español en 2 semanas.
See, I
Oh,
tell
okay.
you.
He didn't say two. He didn't say $2
He said a
million.
He said
million.
a million.
Said $1 million.
Thank you, Rosetta Stone.
You don't need
$2
Rosetta Stone. You can
million.
sit next to me, man. I just
know
went to
Spanish,
class.
Ernie.
I took it. Why, you just took the class. You should have took it in class.
Listen,
I'm
you
from
already,
San Antonio. I know
listen,
Spanish.
Hey, you already fluent in English and hood rat. He's fluent in tongues. You know.
But I know Spanish. You want to hear my Spanish?
Yeah, let's go.
Vararalabra-bamba. Vararalabra-bamba.
That's
Tosi
rich.
con tiro. Tose toco
That's
taza.
Richard Valens, isn't it?
And he was Spanish.
That's horrible. Anyway,
Excellent.
on
San
that
Antonio,
note-
what's up?
on that note, I think it's time
Feliz
that
Navidad.
we bid the good folks here in New York a good night. Thank you for being here.
Dame besos.
Opening night.
Dame pesos.
Opening
Mamita
night of the
linda.
NBA season. We'll see you
Muchas
Thursday back in
gracias.
Atlanta.
Oh, we gonna go out with a Jay-Z and Alicia Keys? At least give me a Ja Rule. New York, New York.